فَمَا لِعَيْنِكَ إِن قُلْتَ أَكْفُفَا حَمَةً وَمَا لِقَلْبِكَ إِن قُلْتَ اسْتَفِقْ يَهِمِ. He said, and so what's wrong with your eyes? Because every time you tell your eyes to stop, they keep weeping. And what's wrong with your heart? Because every time you tell it to, you try to shake your heart, stop being in love, it falls deeper in love. So it's showing you that even him, his mind, and his logic, and the way that he should be, is telling him that he needs to pull himself out of this situation. It's okay to be in love, it's okay to love, but this love that's affecting your sleep, affecting your health, you're crying to the point that you're bleeding from your eyes and all of these things, you need to stop. So it shows you that when you're truly in love, when you're really in love, the love will make you do things that you don't even want to do. Love can put you in a situation where you don't have any control over yourself and how you're reacting. That's true love. And so then that means it's important. Obviously you can't choose who you fall in love with, but it's important for you to love the right person or to love the right things. One of our sheikh in Senegal, 𝗕𝗿𝗵𝘆𝗸𝗵, he says, وَكُلٌّ وَلَيْلَاهُ وَبَرْهَامَ مُبْتِلًا بِأَحْمَدَ خَيْرِ النَّاسِ 𝗓𝗍𝗵𝗆. 𝗓𝗍𝗵𝗆. He recites the poetry, so he knows it better than me. He says, everybody has their Layla. You know the story of Layla and Majnun? That Majnun was somebody that he was in love with this lady called Layla. And they had this love when they were young, depending on the version of the story that you believe, because some people say that he was in love with her, but she didn't even know who he was. But regardless, he was in love with Layla. And then Layla, her family took her and married her to one of her cousins who was wealthy. And so he went crazy. Majnun literally means the crazy person. His real name was Qais. But he went crazy, he lost his mind because he was so in love with Layla that when Layla was taken away from him, he didn't know what to do, and he just spent his entire life thinking about Layla. So one time, for example, they saw him and he was at this house and he was kissing the walls of the house. He was just there kissing the walls. And people were looking at him like, Qais, what are you doing? Why are you kissing the walls of this house? And he said, أمر على الديار ديار ليلى أقابل ذا الجدار وما حب الديار شقفنا قلبي ولكن حب من سكن الديار. He says, أمر على الديار. He said, I'm walking past the house, this house, ديار ليلى, which is the house of Layla. أقابل ذا الجدار. So as I'm walking past, I'm going to kiss this wall and that wall. He said, وَمَا حُبُّ الدِّيَارِ شَقَفْنَا قَلْبِي. He said, but it's not love of houses or love of walls that's filled my heart. وَلَكِنْ حُبُّ مَنْ سَكَنَ الدِّيَارَ. But the love of the person who used to live in this house. Because he can't kiss Layla, he sees the house where Layla was and the connection that it has to Layla, and so he's there kissing the walls of the house. But that's the same love that we have, that when we go to the Kaaba, we try and kiss the walls of the Kaaba. Or when we go to the Rawda, if the guards don't beat you first, you try and touch the barriers or tabarruk from the walls of the Rawda. It's not the love of the Kaaba or the love of the walls, but they represent Allah and the Prophet. And we have that love and we have that attachment. So 𝗕𝗿𝗵𝗆𝗍𝗵 was saying, everybody has their Layla. He says, but as for me, Barhama is a nickname for Ibrahim. I have been trialed and tested with the love of Ahmed sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who's the best of creation.